All right, today we're going to be digging into Psalm 3. If you want to pull it up on a Bible app or look at a Bible, whatever, maybe follow along a little bit. I'm going to tell you how I arrived at Psalm 3 this week. We're right now sitting just a little bit over a month from St. Petersburg Grand Prix. The season will be starting in earnest, you might say. I mean, a lot of things are going on already, a lot of testing stuff going on, people doing different things. But man, St. Pete is like that thing that looms in front of us in the IndyCar community. For fans, you're looking forward to it. It's like, yeah, the season's going to start. I can't wait. But yet for anybody on the other side, the ones putting on the show, you might say, there's all kinds of pressures and anxieties that come along with that date. I mean, from the end of the 2024 season, we're all looking to that date as the date things get going. And as you might imagine, being responsible for different things in our positions, you this time of year start getting a little bit of anxiety. That's where the rubber hits the road. Everything's got to be done by then. Everything's got to be in place as it can be. And, you know, talking to other people in this community, it's like, yeah, I'm starting to not sleep that good and I've got different anxieties going on. So, I noticed we did a lot of Psalms higher up in the numbers, and I'm like, man, I want to really see how the book of Psalms starts off. And I was reading through and I came across Psalm 3 and I'm like, man, that's a lot of the way I feel at times. So what I'm going to do here, like I said, if you don't have it, maybe pause this video for a second and try and get it open on an app. But I'm going to read through the whole thing, and then I'll go back and maybe talk about the little parts that really spoke to me and this thing about the uneasiness of this time of year. So here we go. Psalm 3. It says, "Oh Lord, I have so many enemies. So many are against me. So many are saying, God will never rescue him. But oh Lord, you are a shield around me. You are my glory, the one who holds my head high. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. I'm not afraid of 10,000 enemies who surround me on every side. Arise, O Lord, rescue me, my God. Slap all my enemies in the face. Shatter the teeth of the wicked. Victory comes from you, O Lord. May you bless your people." And I mean, that ending there almost makes me chuckle, right? Slap all my enemies in the face. Don't we a lot of times envision that in our minds? And, I don't want to dwell on that too much, but just the fact that this psalm is, man, the Lord is always watching over us. He's always protecting us and taking care of us. Going back to verse 1 where it talks about these so many enemies. What are your enemies? What are my enemies? There's many these days, right? I mean, I might say, first off, we're getting in an ever-increasing, less than Christian world, right? So we have a very different worldview than a lot of people. And I think, as time goes on, people are going to get a little more confrontational about that. But what other enemies do I have? I have my time. I only have so much time and I've got so much to do. We're constantly overclocking ourselves in this day and age. And that's an enemy I have, right? Just different responsibilities I have, I might call my enemy, because if I don't make the plans right, or you don't make the plans right, when we get in that situation, things are going to kind of go south in a hurry, and we all feel the responsibility or the burden of the decisions we make each and every day in regards to our responsibilities, our calendar, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times we feel alone, like we have all these thousands of enemies just coming at us from all different directions. I'm not even talking about, people in particular. Sure, that's one part of it, but just all these little tasks and to-dos and different things, God, screaming for our attention. You might say those are all enemies of my inner peace. So, reading this psalm and hearing that God is a shield around me. That word shield, I just think of the fact that, when I just really focus on my relationship with God, it shields me from a lot of this junk garbage out there that just pollutes my mind, pollutes my soul. God wins the spiritual battle, and we're in the middle of a very big one. And that line, verse 4, I cry out to you, Lord, and you answer me. You answer me. And I'm not saying, working on your relationship with God doesn't mean burying myself in my Bible every day. Sure, you need to spend time there, but I'm just saying resting in his peace and joy that he offers. Man, there's so much stuff counter to that in our world that we really need to remember that God is the provider of all joy. He's the provider of all peace. And that's the only place we're going to get that from. We're not going to get it from the news or social media or any of that stuff. We need to look to him to fulfill us in every way. The verse 5 is really what brought me here, though, right? It says, I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. How many of you are struggling with sleepless nights right now? Just because of different things going on in your life. We don't often go to bed in peace, and it affects our rest. It affects our attitudes. It affects everything, because when you're not sleeping good, you're not thinking properly. And remembering that God is watching over you while you sleep, man, that to me is huge. That just, when I lay down in bed, can I really be at peace? Do I know it's okay for me to check out for 6-8 hours, whatever your normal sleep rhythm is? Or am I going to wake up in the middle of the night concerned about things that are on my control? Just, anxiety and worrying and stuff like that. If we truly have that relationship going with God, we need to really focus on that part, that God is always present. He's always watching over me. And that can lead to that next part where it says all these 10,000 enemies, not afraid. And I think that's the key, right? Going to God and being confident that he is involved in your life intimately and personally, and being able to rest in that relationship we have with him. So, real quick, that's a quick overview of Psalm 3. I invite you to spend a little time in that or a different psalm that might speak to you, and just really look at what's happening. I mean, in this psalm, it's written about David fleeing his son who's trying to kill him, which obviously my son's not trying to kill me, but a lot of times I feel life around me is. And I can learn from David. I can learn from this stuff that's written here, how to properly act in the face of all these pressures and tensions. So just, spend some time in the Psalms like we've been doing, man. Really enjoying this journey. I don't know about you, but it's great to be spending time in the Psalms. And again, like I said, the season's just around the corner, so we look forward to seeing you guys at the track in person. We thank you guys for all the time you spend with us. We love you all, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a good week. We'll catch you next time on Wednesday Wisdom.